Alright, so I got this package in from Amazon today, and I'm pretty sure it's my Emporia plugs. So now I can finally add it to my Emporia network. Oh, that is really not showing up. That's strange. Anyways, let's open this thing up. I got these plugs so I could connect it to the grid tie inverter. Emporia. Now, if you get the 4-pack, these are only like $35 after tax. Don't get the used one, the pre-owned ones. I tried to save $2 by getting the pre-owned ones, and when they came in the mail, the previous owner did not reset, did not clear their Wi-Fi from the plug, so I was stuck. I was stuck with plugs that I couldn't access. So even if you hit this, they do have a power button on here, right here. See, if you hold this, it's supposed to put it into hotspot mode, but it didn't do that because it was already connected, or it was already pre-programmed to a Wi-Fi. So yeah, it wouldn't let me into the plug to connect it to the app. And I went to the customer service up here it took me like 2 or 3 days to get a hold of these people. And they were telling me that I had to use the app to get in there and erase it. But you can't erase it because these they weren't configured. It had to be the account that it was associated with. Okay, so we want to smart plugs. Let's add a device. And if you've never seen this or yet, this is actually live. So this is how much total power my house is consuming right now, is 4.2 kilowatts per hour. And these are all of the devices. These are all of the circuits right here. It'll let you program it in. So 1500 watts. These are heaters because it's cold right now. So yeah, and the other one's washer. So that's that's office. That's washer. Washer is 1400. Kitchen, that's a heater, and the office, that's another space heater. So the space heater's pulling like 1089 plus, you know, whatever else is on there. All right, so let's see. We want to put this plug on. Oh, and another thing is you see these do have 3 prongs on the back. This is a 3-prong household plug, US 120. The person that owned these the ones that I did have when I bought the pre-owned ones, they went ahead and actually cut this grounding stud off so they could make it fit into a 2-prong plug. Well, they do if you go to Home Depot, these things I think are like $2, maybe $1.74 or something. But you see, it does take a 2-prong plug or a 3-prong plug and convert it into a 2-prong plug. This is a solid grounding stud right here. So don't cut that off. Just go get yourself one of these. If you feel so inclined to cut a plug off to try to make that fit, just get this. See that? 3. Just put it in. Now you have a 2-prong plug. See? All right, no cutting involved. All right, so the thing is let's see, plug. We want to add a device. Smart plug. Add device. Go through installation instructions. Yeah, I may as well do that so you can see what it says. Go through the installation. Okay, it does say the Emporia smart plugs plug plugs into a standard wall outlet and passes through 15 amps of current to provide scheduling and energy monitoring. So this is what I like about this, is that you can actually schedule this plug and you can monitor how much power is coming through it. Now, what I'm trying to do is pump power back through the plug onto the grid. So I'm hoping that this will register the power going onto the grid, like it's bidirectional. Energy monitoring into wherever you're plugged into from anywhere. Yes, so you can monitor this while you're away from your house, as long as you have it connected to your Wi-Fi. All right, here it says LED status is this little, there's a little button or a little light right there. It's super tiny. Power socket, and on the side it is telling you right here that there's a power button. All right, next. The plug can only be connected to a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi connection, so don't connect it to your 5G Wi-Fi network, because it'll be multi-band, so only connect it to the 2.4 gigahertz. Smart plug has an output of 15 amps and a maximum load power of 18 watts. So I'm guessing that's spike 2 at 18 watts. Do not use this smart plug in any manner other than specified in this installation guide. Do not attempt to open, dismantle, or repair the smart plug. If you believe the smart plug may be damaged, do not attempt to use it. Operating temperatures of the smart plug are 14F or negative 10 degrees Celsius to 140 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 degrees Celsius. So I'm thinking as long as this is outside, out of the weather, like you have a, some kind of a shelter over it, you could use it. So what I want to do is I'm probably going to try using one of these as my chicken heat lamp for when it gets cold outside, so I don't have to keep running out there. Next, okay, plug in your Emporia smart plug. Plug in your Emporia smart plug where there is an adapter Wi-Fi signal. Okay, hold on one second. So alright, so I can do that here. Remember, 2-prong plug adapter to a 2-prong plug, and then I have this extension cord running to an outlet, so I can actually do this on camera. Nope, like this. Okay, we plug the plug in, and we do have a blue flashing light right there. Indicator light. Alright, so it does say rapidly blinking blue light. Set up your smart plug. Yes, we do have a rapid blue blinking light. Please observe the following to avoid damage to your home electrical devices. Do not use critical heating, cooling, or life maintaining devices. Do not use, okay, so it says do not use at a load over 10 amps continuous or over 15 amp maximum. Okay, so 10 times 120 is what, 1200 watts. So continuous load, don't use anything over a continuous watt of 1200 watts. And don't use on like life-saving devices. And I'm guessing they're just saying that because of liability issues if for some reason the smart plug does fail and you're on a life support machine. Do not use if overload detected. Please unplug all devices immediately. Okay, it does say doing so if you use over 15 amps maximum, doing so will result in plug automatically shutting off for the next 24 hours. So if you do encounter an issue with that, with the plug not responding, just give it 24 hours from the time that it faulted, and then maybe that'll reset itself. All right, next. Okay, now that you're plugged in, select the 2.4 gigahertz wireless network, enter your password. If your Wi-Fi is 5 gigahertz, please turn on the 2.4 gigahertz channel. Okay, so we are on 2.4, and on my router, it had smart routing where it'd switch between 2.4 and it'd switch devices around. Turn that off because it's dumb. It's not smart. It doesn't know what to do. So just, it's called smart routing feature. Turn that off, and on your Wi-Fi settings, if you have an issue, and then set it to 2.4, and you'll actually see two broadcasts. You'll see one that says 5 gigahertz, and you'll see one that says 2.4 gigahertz. All right, now I'm just gonna go ahead and enter my password and stuff in now. All right, so I have connect with quick mode, and then there's another setting that says connect with hotspot mode. So I'm just gonna do quick mode. Quick mode just connects through your phone to the 2.4 gigahertz. This one, you actually have to, the second one, the hotspot mode, is it turns this plug into a hotspot where you connect directly to it and then configure the settings in there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and run quick mode and see if that works. Now, since my phone is actually on cellular data, I had to turn the cellular data off, and my phone automatically connects to my 5G network, so I had to switch it from my 5G to my 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network. All right, there's a confirmation button down here, and it does want you to do that. So connecting to your Wi-Fi network, this may take a minute. All right, it went to red and then purple. Solid purple, I believe, means that it's it did go from blinking blue to red, and then it went to solid purple. Solid purple, I do believe, is connected to Wi-Fi, so I'm waiting for this to see what it says. Enter name for your smart plug. Okay, so Central Time. We'll use that, and name of smart plug, I'm gonna call this solar grid tie 1000 watt. All right, because that's what we want to grid tie 1000 watt. That's what we're trying to monitor, and my guess is that if what I'll do is I'll just take the number that this gives me, and then I'll subtract it from my total usage, unless they have something in there. And I believe that there is a solar function for the main Emporia box, not these plugs themselves, but the actual plug that's inside of the breaker box. Okay, we're solid purple. We're good to go. Solid grid tie solar grid tie 1000 watt inverter grid tie. Okay, save. Select the level of your outlet in relation to your view. Standalone. Okay, so I want this to be standalone. I don't want it to be in relation to my actual view. I don't want it to add the reading from this to my view unless it was doing a subtraction of it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna set this up as so. Standalone unit and save. Because I don't want this adding the power that's coming from it to the power that's already going on it. Unless it would do like a negative. If I could switch the value to a negative value, then that's what I would do. Okay, so now it's updating the firmware. Okay, nice. We're all done. All done. Now you're ready to start controlling and monitoring your smart plug. Ah, there it is right there. Look at that. Check that out. Nice. So what can we do? Oh, we can click on it, and then this will give us a graph. That's nice. That's nice. Now we're gonna have all of our electronics in. We're gonna have it all within one software application. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and connect this plug to the 1000 grid tie inverter. All right, so this is the plug that I have. This is this arrangement that I have it set up in right now, that I've had it set up for, I'm guessing at least a week or something, maybe 2 weeks or something. But anyways, so this is how much power during the dead of winter that we've actually generated is this is how much power we've actually generated in the dead of winter with this 1000 watt grid tie inverter. See if you can see that. All right, so far this is what we've generated on the grid tie inverter is 3,199. So 3,200 kilowatt, or 3.2 kilowatt hours. Days, I guess that's saying in 2 days, but that's definitely been more than 2 days. Let's see, so the maximum that we've actually had come in here off of our panel array is 244.7 watts. That was the max. What was the low? Well, oh, it's pushing out at least 3 watts right now. It's coming on and off. 1.7 watts. It's pretty late in the day, so I don't expect anything. Low 0.1, 2.44, 244.7 watts. And so far so good. I have no complaints with this. I love this this in-wall meter. It looks great. All right, let's go ahead and plug the Emporia in now. Turn off the inverter. Unplug this. Plug this straight in at a 3-prong, and the inverter is 3-prong, by the way. There we go. See that? And we are connected to Wi-Fi. Let's go ahead and check our phone here. Okay, so far nothing. We'll click on the plug itself, and then we'll turn the inverter on. See what happens. We'll probably have to come back to this and tomorrow, since there's practically zero sun out right now. All right, so we are going on day number 2, day number 2 with the Emporia smart wall plug right here, using it as a power meter. This would be like a smart micro inverter or something that you would put on the back of your panel. That's kind of the idea. But you're doing it for like $9 to make it smart, right? So we have the 1000 watt inverter, and on the front, the 1000 watt grid tie inverter with anti-islanding, which means if there's no grid power, the inverter automatically turns off and does not supply power back to the grid or in the house. And if you do see this green blinking light right here, that means that it is in MPPT tracking mode. So when it goes solid, it's found its deal. Blue LED on the inverter indicates that it does sense grid power. On the Emporia, if you see a solid blue light, that indicates that you have power. All right, at the plug. So here we are, day number 2, I believe. And as you can see down here, the smart plug, it does populate in with the app for the Emporia View. And here's one that I use for a heater, the pet room heater. Right there, I put that, I set this to only 900 watts. And that's on the circuit. So what that does is, if that's the only load on that circuit, it shows like 900. It separates the load. It separates the load from there. All right, but let's get back here to this, the solar grid tie inverter, and look at that. Up here in the top right hand corner, it actually gives you the usage, and by usage, that's how much power is actually being monitored from the plug. So 1.46 kilowatts is what we've generated so far for January. And let's go to minutes down here. See, we have it on seconds. Select minutes. And there we go. So it is 2:30-ish, 36 p.m. And let's go back here to the peak for the day, which was, should have been 12 something. 12:30. That's 2, 1, 12:30 somewhere in there, yeah. 12. So that actually is showing you the, there you go, 255, 230s, right, 254, 255 maximum. We've produced 58 watts. For the day. Hours. Okay, week. We've generated 1.4 kilowatts. And let's see, how many days have we been doing this? So, let's see, 21st, 22nd. We'll say we started on the 23rd. And today's the 24th. And that's because I turned the inverter off. I didn't have it set. So what you do is you go up here, go to the plug itself, smart plugs, Smart plugs. Where's the smart plugs? Right there. Solar grid tie and the pet room heater. So you go here, it's on. If you go down here to the corner, this bottom right hand corner, you'll see that it has schedules. So you can set it express solar, peak demand, or schedules. So let's do that. I did put it on a schedule, and I have it set to celestial time. I believe that's what they call it. Time. So I set it to sunset to turn off and sunrise to turn on every day, because there's no point in keeping that plug on. Alright, so that's it. That's how you check how much power you've generated for the week and keep track of it. Like, it'll actually keep track of it. 1.46 kilowatts. What are we generating now? Go down here and click on seconds. So we're generating 65 watts right now. And the high for today, you look at the bar graph here, and I'll show you down here at the bottom what time you were generating that at. So it's 2, 5. And I like this because you can actually see, like, if there's a cloud coverage, or I mean, you can see when the peaks, the actual maximum radiances you're getting on your panels. So you can always make adjustments if you need to. So like, what time was this? 11:01. We were generating more power. Then right here. So this must have been a cloud coverage or something. And then you see where it actually, you know, the radiance starts increasing throughout the day. So that's it, 7 a.m., and then it starts generating at 0.35 watts. Yeah, then it starts increasing 6, something like that, around 7:50, 8 a.m. And then it really doesn't start kicking up until noon. Alright, well, that is it. Peace.